You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning. Inching our way toward the weekend, Thursday, February 22nd. I'm Ray Collins.
That's right. I'm Stephanie Webb. As we call it around here, it is Friday Eve.
John loves to call it Little Friday.
Little baby Friday.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. It's going to grow up into Big Friday tomorrow.
Yes.
And that's a very exciting thing.
It is, very much. No, we'll be breaking some big records today again.
Did yesterday.
Again?
3 days, yeah, 3 days in a row now.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
And the month will probably go down as the warmest in history.
Wow.
And we're going to be close to breaking a record today, no doubt about it. We'll probably see a daytime high temperature that'll top out close to where we were yesterday. I'll go with 88 just because I want to break another record. The record today is 87. I think we can do it. We'll see how it goes. But in any event, it's going to be a warm day today. We'll start off a little bit cooler, but I think we'll warm up pretty quickly, and we'll top it out, as I mentioned, well above average once again. Satellite view shows not a whole lot in the way of any kind of cloud cover across the region. The radar, clear as a bell. A few scattered showers down to the south, but locally everything is fine for your drive time. No issues whatsoever this morning. Back to you.
Checking first alert traffic right now. A little built up there on the bend in the road where it heads into downtown Bradenton off 301. Otherwise, all clear. In Manatee County, checking farther south. If you look at the lower right corner of your screen, you'll see that beyond 75, Clark Road has some buildup as you head back toward Proctor Road in 75. South County looking clear. We'll check a little closer now to Northport and Charlotte County line. Nothing to speak of right now at this hour of the day at 4:02. This is a live shot of a beautiful park, Lecom Park, near downtown Bradenton. In about 15 minutes, we're going to talk live to one of the folks who work with the Pirates about opening day. It's tomorrow in spring training.
That is right. Well, all this week, we have been exploring the opioid epidemic and its devastating effect on the country, as well as here in our area. According to the CDC, on average, 115 Americans die every day from an opioid overdose.
Today, our Marla Spence tells us how that issue leaves many kids right here in the Suncoast in the foster care system. Marla?
Yeah, Ray and Stephanie, I'm live outside the Florida Department of Children and Families, an agency dedicated to making sure children are safe and well taken care of. But right here on the Suncoast, many kids are with families whose parents are addicted to opioids. Now, according to the Department of Children and Families, Manatee and Sarasota counties are the top counties in the state where children are removed from their homes because of the rise in opioid addiction. The opioid issue on the Suncoast has 3 times as many kids requiring foster care just in Manatee County alone. And when a child is taken from a home from DCF, they try to place them with loved ones closer to their home or their hometown, but sometimes that doesn't always happen, leaving them to stay in a county or a city that's far away from their hometown. Yesterday, we spoke to Manatee County Sheriff Rick Wells, and he said his department is taking efforts to lower the number of people addicted and kids placed out of their homes by getting the drug dealers off the street.
We have been able to work with the U.S. Attorney's Office and also the DEA on a task force to basically go after drug dealers and drug traffickers, those that are responsible for selling heroin and fentanyl in our community. It's been very successful up to this point. We have well over 175 federal indictments pending right now, about 40 plus suspects that we have put in jail.
Sheriff Wells says because of this, he's already seen an 85% decrease in overdoses and deaths due to opioids. He says although the numbers have decreased, there's still many children on the Suncoast who still need a home right here in Manatee County. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thanks, Marla. Our Suncoast app has the latest health stories like this. To stay updated on stories that affect you and your family, download the app. Just search for WWSB or My Suncoast in the App Store. Well, today the gun debate continues after President Trump and Washington lawmakers heard first-hand accounts of gun violence yesterday.
Yesterday, Florida students made their way to the state capitol as well to demand changes in the wake of the deadly mass shooting in Parkland last week. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the highlights from yesterday's discussion.
The debate over guns is intensifying.
It doesn't make sense. Fix it. Should have been one school shooting, and we should have fixed it.
President Trump listened to victims, parents, and educators impacted by gun violence a week after an AR-15 was used to kill 17 people at Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida.
I don't understand why I could still go in a store and buy a weapon of war.
I was born into a world where I never got to experience safety and peace. There needs to be a significant change in this country.
The president asked for solutions, but advocated for more mental institutions and appeared open to arming teachers.
And do people feel strongly against it? Anybody? Anybody? Strongly against it? All right. I mean, look, we can understand both sides of it. And certainly it's controversial, but we'll study that along with many other ideas.
We're just kids.
In Tallahassee, Florida, Parkland students face-to-face with lawmakers, frustrated over what many called a lack of straight answers.
What I saw today was discouraging.
During a tense CNN town hall debate last night, GOP Senator Marco Rubio shifted some of his stances on guns.
Were guns the factor in the hunting of our kids?
They were. Number one, Fred, I absolutely believe that in this country, if you are 18 years of age, you should not be able to buy a rifle, and I will support a law that takes that right away.
The NRA quick to respond, opposing any law that would raise the age of purchase for shotguns and rifles from 18 to 21. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Well, despite not being at the town hall meeting, Governor Rick Scott met with students in Tallahassee yesterday. The students and the governor spoke about 3 major points: gun reform, mental health, and security at our schools. The governor also told the group that he will be proposing something. He does have a plan, which students say that they're going to be watching closely.
He was very open to our ideas. He didn't, say like I agree, I disagree. He just wanted to hear our input on everything.
And those meetings came as thousands of people rallied outside the Florida state capitol to demand new gun control laws. And could this plan be part of the overall goal of keeping students and staff safe on school campuses? Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is looking to create a new program that puts armed veterans and retired police officers in schools. In a statement yesterday, the Sheriff's Office outlined a program that would provide specialized training on firearms, defensive tactics, and active shooter situations. Individual schools would oversee the hiring, and the training would be tailored to meet the needs of each specific school. Now, to go through with this plan, Florida laws preventing concealed carry permits on school campuses would have to change. And keeping your kids safe in school, that is on the agenda for an executive session of the Manatee School Board meeting tomorrow. According to reports by the Herald Tribune, they're also going to be discussing that option that we just told you about, proposed by the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office to build a security program using those retired law enforcement officers and veterans. Manatee has actually experimented with armed personnel in elementary schools in the past. In 2014, the board hired a private security firm to place guards in elementary schools, but the controversial contract was canceled after just 6 weeks.
5:08 right now, still ahead. First alert traffic and weather, and we'll take you to the most popular golf courses in the area.
That is right. And coming up a little later in the hour, Snapchat responds to users after 2 weeks of protests. Stick around.
Spring training starts tomorrow all across Florida and Arizona. Here's a live picture of a beautiful baseball park near downtown Bradenton. Lecom Park. We'll talk to one of the PR people coming up next about the season right here on Good Morning Suncoast.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
And I didn't know what to do with myself. I was thrown into very, very high dose narcotics. I had never seen anything like it before, and it was scary.
An ABC 7 investigation on the opioid crisis, with the Suncoast being the epicenter throughout all of Florida. What is being done? I'm Alan Cohn. We'll have the full investigation at the Trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, March 3rd. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperatures are running around 66 degrees in Sarasota, 67 in Bradenton Parish, Lakewood Ranch, 66 in Mayaca City, Northport coming in at 67, Inglewood at 67, and Venice coming in at 68. Now, 66 is the official temperature at the airport, and the reason it's a little bit cooler today than it was 24 hours ago is that 24 hours ago, our dew point value was 68. Now it's 65. So slightly cooler dew point values means slightly less moisture in the air, means the air can cool a little bit more than it did yesterday. Now, when the air is dry, it not only cools efficiently, but it warms up efficiently. So just because the dew point is cool does not mean that our daytime high is going to be cooler than it was yesterday. In fact, somewhat the contrary, it means that the air will heat up a little bit faster. East-northeast wind coming in at about 8. The reason for that drier air, that little northerly component to the wind. Those winds will be shifting back to the east later in the day. Now, the drier air in place, fog not an issue for us. It is a little bit further to the north, but around here we have 9, 10, 8-mile visibilities, no problem. We have some more moisture down to the south, a little bit of rain shower activity in progress there, a little impulse. That is going to have a hard time making it up into our region, and I think we'll have a dry day today. Certainly for your morning commute, there are no issues. Local radar not showing a drop of rain around anywhere, and you're not going to see any this morning either. So it'll be a rain-free commute for you as temperatures rise pretty rapidly, about to where we were yesterday around the noontime hour, which would be about 80 degrees. And then as we head into the afternoon, I don't see any reason why we won't be very close to the daytime high record, which is 87 degrees, just like it was yesterday. I'll put in 88 for a daytime high today, and then we'll trail it down into the 70s as we head into the evening hours again. Tomorrow evening should be tonight should be just an absolutely beautiful sunset. Well, for that matter, tomorrow will be as well. The winds out of the northeast or east-northeast will shift a little bit more easterly this afternoon. Again, they'll be fairly brisk, so they'll keep that sea breeze pretty close to the coastline, and that will allow for our daytime heating to take place. And as we head into the lunchtime hour today, I think we'll start to see those temperatures solidly into the 80s. And then as we head into the evening hours, drop back down into the 70s. And then tomorrow morning, I think we'll do it all over again, although tomorrow we'll start to kind of mitigate things just a little bit and maybe get a little bit cooler around here. But not by much. We'll still be well above average by about 10 degrees or so. East wind coming in at about 10, shifts to the northeast and then eventually to the east during the night and overnight. Forecast calling for today, I think, daytime highs again near 88 degrees. And then tomorrow we'll start to cool things off a little bit as we head into the weekend. We'll be down to around 83. Down to around 83. That's 10 degrees above average. And as we head into next week, maybe a slight chance at a shower on Tuesday, which is good for the winter season. We're down almost 2.5 inches. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside for your first alert traffic this morning. It's actually looking pretty clear out there so far. Around this time of the day, not too much to see, not so much congestion yet this hour. If you're heading to North Sarasota, those roads are looking pretty congestion-free as well. Not too much to see out there. If you're heading into South Sarasota, there is one little blip out right there that's on State Road 72. You can see just after, or just before Lake Sarasota, that you're starting to see a little congestion there. Maybe some road construction. And if you're heading farther south toward Venice, South Venice area, those roads are looking pretty congestion-free as well this morning at 5:15 on your first alert traffic.
Love that music. It means one thing, baseball. Spring training begins tomorrow on the Suncoast. The first home game for the Pirates is Saturday against the Yankees. Quite a start there. Let's go live at Lecom Park. Nate March with the Pirates. And Nate, you win Employee of the Month for being up so early today. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks so much for having me. Good to be here.
Happy birthday. The Pirates are marking their 50th year in Bradenton. I understand your office is going to try to arrange 50 different events in the community. That's a very ambitious plan.
It's ambitious, but we're off to a great start. We've had first responders coming out to shag during batting practice with the Pirates Major League team. We've had employees and team personnel out serving food to the homeless. We've had all sorts of fundraisers in the community already going on, and we have stuff planned all throughout spring training. Today we have our charity golf outing, so we're off to a great start.
Excellent. Now Saturday's game against the Yankees, I assume that game, and most of your games are already pretty much sold out, aren't they?
There are still tickets available, but you don't want to wait, especially for this Saturday. There are a limited number of seats still remaining, but we do expect a standing room only crowd on Saturday afternoon, and what better way to kick off spring training than with a packed house at Lecom Park.
You've got a busy season. You're going to retire the number of Barry Bonds. His number 25 will be retired this year. And also I read that you've picked up an outfielder named Michael Saunders, which is ironic because Michael Saunders is a realtor in this area, but Michael Saunders is one of your new acquisitions. So looking forward to a positive season this year, Nate.
There's a lot of vibes that are directed in a very positive direction. Whenever the sun comes up over spring training in Florida, you start to look at a season full of optimism, and we're looking forward to having an entertaining spring here at Lecom Park and sending a healthy and productive team back north.
Well, excellent. We're so glad to have the Pirates in the Suncoast, obviously, and the games are so fun to go to. And thank you again for waking up early and being on Good Morning Suncoast.
No problem at all.
All right, talking baseball. We'll talk to him again next hour. Good hustle.
I know, a lot of good hustle, a lot of good things happening with us. Feels good to have baseball starting off again, too.
Love it.
All right, well, in today's edition of Dream 18, we're taking you to Longboat Key.
Scott Dennis checks out the Harborside course.
What a beautiful day for golf we have here at the Longboat Key Club's Harborside. Terry O'Hara, the director of golf out here. Terry, thanks for having us out today.
You're welcome.
And you've brought us to one of the most picturesque holes on this course, haven't you?
Yes, this is our 9th hole here at the Blue Heron Golf Course. You have water about 260 yards off the tee, but if you play it a little left there, you can really make it into a short par 5 and a 2-shot hole and walk away with a birdie.
I like that talk, a birdie.
We got to start. We got to be positive to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's try it out.
Okay. That could be perfect, Scott. Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Great shot. And the GPS is showing that we've got 215 to the pin, and we've got 197 to the front edge, 234 to the back.
Wow. Yeah.
Pretty solid, though. Yeah, I just pulled it a little bit. Well, looks like we've got ourselves a good opportunity to make birdie here, so we got to get up and down here. Nice shot.
Bite.
That's a good shot. That might come back down the hill depending on.
Look at
here
that.
It goes. Look at this
Look
late.
at this.
This is pretty impressive.
Wow.
What do you have, a sand trap at the office?
Look at that shot.
Effort.
Get in. That's a beautiful shot, Terry.
Oh, that's money, money, money.
How about that?
Good putt.
Look at that. Better than that.
We gotta go play 17 more.
I know, we have to stop after this, but thank you so much for having us out here. The course is in beautiful shape, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like I said, this paspalum grass is like one of the things that has really made the difference out here, and the course is great, and glad to have you guys out here.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Terry.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on this edition of the Dream 18. We'll see you next time.
Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, in the aftermath of the school shooting in Florida, districts are asking students to use apps to make anonymous tips.
And if you've been dying to try extreme couponing, we'll show you how you can get started.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke, it's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Welcome back. A live picture of the New York City skyline, the Empire State Building. In black today, in honor of the shooting victims in Broward County 8 days ago. Empire State Building, built in 1930, Midtown Manhattan area. On to business news now. This morning, tips on how to save money by clipping coupons without having to get extreme. But first, Stephanie tells us about a new solar clock.
That is right. The founder of Amazon is building a giant clock on the side of a mountain. The solar-powered clock is supposed to work for the next 10,000 years. A time-lapse video of the construction was tweeted out on Tuesday. Now, that final product will live on the side of a mountain in West Texas and will be almost 500 feet tall. Well, that coupon craze still has people all over the country clipping for cash. So how can you become a master couponer and save all that money? Well, step one, if you still get it, get the Sunday paper. That's one place to start. You can start clipping there. Step two, if you don't see the savings, just ask the store itself. You can call the 1-800 number on the back of most household products. Call centers usually have enough stacks of high-value coupons to just give them out to you. Step three, you can also download apps like Groupon, Living Social, and Ibotta as well.
It puts coupons at our fingertips. So no longer do we have to only rely on the Sunday paper, although I'll tell you, get the Sunday paper, it's still got some awesome coupons.
And some other tips, keep your coupons organized in a file folder or something similar, and always make sure that you have them and it stays in your car as well. You don't want to miss out when you're heading to a store. The best thing that I have found over the years, if you're at a store, maybe you're in the checkout lane, go to the store's website and you can almost always find a coupon that you can use right there.
You're funny.
Takes them 3 seconds.
We get the paper on Sunday. I read the news, and Erin gets the coupons. And
Right.
These coupons pay for that paper, so don't make fun of me.
It all averages out. Averages out. Well, Snapchat is responding after users complained about the app's redesign.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have the story in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bite, Snapchat is taking action because of user complaints. Critics say the Snapchat redesign makes the app more difficult to use.
More than 1 million people signed a petition opposing the changes. Snapchat now promising more tweaks to address their concerns.
In the aftermath of the school shooting in Florida, districts across the country are encouraging students to use apps to make anonymous tips.
One of them, called Safe to Tell, says they've received more than 150 tips since last week's shooting. Later on Good Morning America, experts are going to weigh in on how effective these apps can be. Over in Japan, there's a fast car that's also environmentally friendly.
The Aspark Owl is electric and can go from 0 to 60 in just under 2 seconds. That's better than the world's fastest gas-powered car.
The price tag, $4 million.
It's a bargain.
Yes. And those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day. It's electric.
Tech Bites. Brought to you by Wish.com.
Hey guys, guess what? Come check this out. Check it out. Let's check it out. What is in here? Oh my goodness. Here.
Yeah, what is it?
Look.
Smartwatch! Yes!
Smartwatch! I got one for you. I got one for you.
Thank you.
For you.
Smartwatches!
Cool. Smartwatch!
It's time to get your glow on. New Aveeno Positively Radiant Body Lotion with the moisture-rich power of soy. It transforms dull, dry skin to leave you glowing. New Positively Radiant Body Collection from Aveeno.
This is food made to sit down for. Slow down for. Put the phone away and use a knife and fork for. And with Panera Catering, it's food worth sharing. Panera, food as it should be.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Thousands of award-winning Honda SUVs are on sale from $189 a month during the Honda President's Day sales event. You've got to see these SUVs. Get a surprisingly spacious 2018 HR-V, $189 a month, or step up to Pilot for $289 a month with available seating for 8. Plus, we have Motor Trend's SUV of the Year, the 2018 CR-V, and Ridgeline, a car and driver's 10 best. All on sale for up to $38.05, less than the competition, at your local Honda dealer.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, 1 week after that Broward County school shooting, gun control took center stage at last night's emotional town hall meeting.
And is it ever too hot for the circus? It is now. We'll tell you what Circus Sarasota is doing to keep their people cool under the big top this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Good morning to you on this Thursday morning. I'm Stephanie Webb. It's 5:32.
I'm Ray Collins. 3 days in a row of record-breaking temperatures.
I love all this. I open the door in the morning and it's just warm. It just feels good. And
I feel the same way. It's tropical, isn't it?
Yeah. It reminds you like that we live in Florida and then it's February and it's warm.
I know. Good morning, John.
Yeah, but it's February.
That's just February. That's the whole thing.
What happens when we hit April and we're still seeing these above average temperatures?
We melt.
Yeah, it's true. You know, today will be no different than it was yesterday. Warm temperatures, perhaps breaking records. School bus forecast calls for perfect conditions, little in the way of any kind of rain chance, and a daytime high in the upper 80s. So 70 when the kids are picked up at the bus stops, and about 86 degrees when they're dropped off. No rain at either point, no fog around to mar the morning commute or the school bus pickups. We'll look for a temperature that steadily climbs through the morning hours, even though it's a little bit cooler this morning than it was 24 hours ago. 67 degrees by 7 by noon, 80 degrees, plenty of sunshine, and we'll top it out at a warm 88. If we hit 88, again, we'll break a record, which is 87 today. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. We'll see in Manatee County, a little blip there early on there at 301 as you cross over from Palmetto into downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee. Checking the Clark Road area, some problems there east of the interstate as you head westbound toward I-75. Otherwise, pretty clear. Checking South County now. We'll see clear conditions, no problem there. And we'll check back on the maps in about 15 minutes. 5:32 right now on your Thursday morning. And in light of tomorrow's start of spring training, here is a live picture of the former McKechnie Field. Now it's called Lecom Park right there near downtown Bradenton. Pretty park, sort of historic. It's not newfangled. It's had a lot of makeovers.
That is right. That is right.
Beautiful park right
looks
there.
Gorgeous. The ground crew's been hard at work making that perfect diamond, making the perfect grass out there, all ready for the season to begin.
Their first game is tomorrow on the road, but they come back on Saturday to host the Yankees, one of the biggest games of the season right away.
Huge. That's gonna be a big one.
So we'll talk to one of the folks from the Pirates next hour here on Good Morning Suncoast. More on the games and all the sports updates through our app at WWSB or under My Suncoast. 1 week after the Broward County school shooting, gun control remains center stage.
Students, parents, politicians, and officials all gave their views on the topic. At a meeting in the White House, President Donald Trump spoke and listened to survivors, parents, and teachers. Now, the president did promise change and suggested the idea of potentially arming teachers. He also expressed support for stronger background checks and regulating bump fire stocks.
It's not going to be talk like it has been in the past. We're going to get it done.
Then last night, a town hall meeting in South Florida allowed victims to confront the NRA and lawmakers. Some called for gun control reform, others want weapon bans entirely. And although opinions differed at times, everyone agreed that they didn't want to experience another rampage like the one in Parkland.
None of us support people who are crazy, who are a danger to themselves, who are a danger to others, getting their hands on a firearm.
And President Trump is scheduled to discuss school safety with state and local officials later today.
The Manatee County Sheriff's Office will host an active shooter training class next month. The class is designed to teach the average person how to defend themselves in the case of an active shooter. You can sign up for the free class. It'll discuss what an active shooter the mentality and what your response should be if you're found in that situation.
The harder you are to become one of those victims, the more likely you will survive that.
Each class lasts about 2 hours. If you want to sign up, the class is Thursday, March 8th. Call the Sheriff's Office to reserve a seat at 747-3011, extension 2500.
Well, all this week we've been exploring the opioid epidemic and the devastating effect on the country and here in our area. According to the CDC, from the year 2000 to 2016, more than 600,000 people died from opioid overdoses.
It is bad right here in the Suncoast today. Our Marla Spence tells us how that issue leaves many kids in the Suncoast in the foster care system. Marla?
Yeah, Ray and Stephanie, I'm live outside the Florida Department of Children and Families. This is an agency that says so many kids right here in the Suncoast need a home because their parents are just addicted to opioids. According to the Department of Children and Families, Manatee and Sarasota counties are the top counties in the state where children are removed from their homes because of the rise in opioid addiction. Now, the opioid issue on the Suncoast leaves 3 times as many kids requiring foster care just in Manatee County alone. And when a child is taken from a home, DCF try to place them with a loved one closer to their home, maybe in their city or maybe in their county, but sometimes that's not the case. They might be placed in other counties outside of Manatee or Sarasota County. And so we also spoke to Operation PAR Rehab Facility, and folks there tell us that their parents of those kids come from all different backgrounds and their addiction starts off with prescription painkillers.
We have been able to work with the U.S. Attorney's Office and also the DEA on a task force to basically go after drug dealers and drug traffickers, those that are responsible for selling heroin and fentanyl in our community. It's been very successful up to this point. We have well over 175 federal indictments pending right now, about 40 plus suspects that we have put in jail.
And that was Sheriff Rick Wells right there with Manatee County telling us the efforts that they're taking to limit the number of people selling those drugs out. Like I was mentioning earlier in my report, that we spoke to a rehab facility and they say that many people start off taking opioids, which are prescription painkillers from their doctors. And once they can't afford those painkillers from their doctors or pharmacies, that's when they go ahead and they become addicted to heroin, something that is a street drug, and that can simply lead to losing their kids and also becoming addicted to opioids. Reporting live in Manatee, in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks, Marla. A bill that would limit the amount of prescription drugs prescribed here in Florida will be voted on this week. The bill passed the Health and Human Services Committee yesterday, and if passed into law, prescription drugs will be limited to just 3-day doses. Now, the proposal doesn't cover cases of chronic pain or cancer. It would also require all healthcare professionals to participate in a statewide database that would monitor all of those prescriptions.
Well, the good news is Florida has another first-place ranking, but this one won't be on billboards or on the Chamber of Commerce website. Wallet Hub named Florida as the most sinful state in the country. According to the survey, Florida ranked #1 in jealousy, #4 in vanity, #7 in laziness, #8 in lust. How do you quantify this stuff?
Who is answering these questions?
I think you must have.
Clearly.
I think you contributed to this. When you moved to Florida.
Right? All of a sudden we get this ranking.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Coming in #2 is California, and #3 is Nevada. Michigan's doing better now, by the way.
That's right, strangely enough.
Right.
Strangely enough. Well, a man in South Florida is accused of sinking his boat on purpose to hide the disappearance of his wife, who was on board at the time. Now, the couple's boat sank 9 months ago, and Lewis Bennett is already serving time in prison for transporting stolen coins found in the life raft that he used to escape the wreck. Now, the FBI determined that 2 holes in the hull of the boat were made from the inside.
The holes were too neat. There's no scraping around the holes. You don't see anything leading up to that puncture, and you don't see anything trailing from it.
Bennett told FBI agents he never tried to find his wife or stop the boat from sinking before he fled.
Lakewood Ranch's new neighborhood irrigation schedule is causing concern, particularly for those who don't want to deal with that awful smelling sulfur. According to the Sarasota Observer, the Lakewood Ranch Town Hall Community Association has received more than 120 complaints since the new watering schedule went into effect last month. The schedule has some neighborhood sprinklers on several days a week late in the afternoon while people are out, in some cases. But this problem is not going away anytime soon. This plan took 6 months to approve.
Well, today is the grand opening of the new state-of-the-art library at Sarasota College of Florida. The ribbon cutting that will take place later on this morning is open to the public if you want to check it out. There's going to be a time capsule display, music exhibits, tours of the facility itself, and free SCF library cards to anyone holding a local library card.
This record-breaking heat comes at a bad time for organizers of Circus Sarasota. The Sarasota Circus Arts Conservatory struck a deal to get air conditioners installed in the tent for its ongoing show called Ovation.
We're a nonprofit organization, and so when people come out to support us and see a great show and have some awesome entertainment, they're also supporting an organization that brings circus and outreach to the community year-round. We want to make sure that people come to the show and not only get to enjoy these amazing artists, but also be safe and feel that they're in a comfortable environment.
This is the first time the Big Top will be air-conditioned. The show continues behind the mall at UTC through Sunday, March the 4th.
Well, manatees will soon be returning to the South Florida Museum. The museum temporarily drained its manatee rehab aquarium for maintenance, and it's expected to be completed by mid-March, according to the Bradenton Herald. SeaWorld is currently hosting the 3 manatees that lived in the tank. One of them will be released near Melbourne just next month. Well, the Sarasota economy is seeing a lot of green, and it's all because of the team wearing black and orange. Having the Baltimore Orioles in town does mean big business, and it was the focus of the Greater Sarasota Chamber's spring training welcome event held at Ed Smith Stadium on Wednesday. Over the last year, the economic impact from the Orioles being in Sarasota is $97 million. That's $8 million more than the previous year. On top of that, the Orioles organization has donated more than $3 million to the Sarasota community in their time here.
It's been a two-way street. Our ownership and our organization has done their part in Sarasota, and Sarasota County has done the same.
We're so happy to have a partnership with the Baltimore Orioles that is year-round, but every time this year, this time of year, people get so excited. You start to see the O's hats pop up, the jerseys. Everyone's so excited to return to spring training baseball.
All right, he is right. The first spring training game will take place tomorrow afternoon at 1:05. The Orioles are going to be taking on the Tampa Bay Rays at Ed Smith Stadium.
And the Pirates will also play the Rays tomorrow. It's a split squad thing.
Oh, nice, nice.
So the Pirates will be in Charlotte County. And then Pirates come back to Bradenton on Saturday. First game against the Yankees. We'll go live to the park next half hour and talk to one of the folks there who works for the Pirates in Bradenton.
That is right. Baseball.
Still ahead, the latest in First Alert traffic and weather, and a new statistic about heart attacks in women. Why you should talk to your doctor about an MRI.
And your kids may need a second flu shot. Why doctors are saying the first one may not be enough.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Tickets are going fast for My Hometown Fest, Saturday, March 3rd from noon to 5 at Nathan Benderson Park. Enjoy foods from 40 area restaurants, 40-plus craft beers, live music, and lots of fun. Get your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome.
I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Meteorologist John Scalzi.
Running slightly cooler than we were 24 hours ago by about 5 degrees or so. The temperature 66 in Sarasota. Bradenton the same at 66, 67 Venice, Inglewood at 67, 66 in Northport. You get the idea. Generally temperatures in the mid 60s, pushing up to the upper 60s as we head over the next hour or so. 66 the official air temperature, and there is the reason why, and there's what's caused it. 65 is our dew point, the amount of moisture that's in the air, how humid the air feels basically. And yesterday it was 68, so we've lowered it a little bit, and the reason is we have a slight northerly component to the wind now. That'll be shifting around more to the east a little bit later on in the afternoon. A lot of dry air in place, so fog not an issue for your morning commute. All visibilities above 8 miles, so that's not a problem. We have some scattered showers down to the south of us. That's where the moisture is a little bit thicker, but that is not a big problem for us. We remain absolutely dry across the region. So good news there. Don't think we'll have to worry about rainfall today. However, we will have to worry about warm temperatures once again. I think this is particularly hard on people who are working outside doing kind of heavy labor activities. It's really hot out there, and you really do have to remember to take breaks and drink lots of fluids because with the UV index high as it is, and with these temperatures as warm as they are, it can be a little bit stressful for some folks. 67 degrees at 7 a.m., 80 by 12 noon. Well on the way to perhaps breaking a record today. 88 by around 3. The actual air temperature, record air temperature today is 87. It's like it was yesterday. And yesterday we broke the daytime high by 1 degree. So we're going to be pretty close to doing that same exact thing again this afternoon. Hour by hour through the day, take it along. A lot of sunshine around, maybe a few passing clouds, but no rainfall. Easterly wind develops, maybe even southeasterly with time. A sea breeze will be very shallow again today right along the immediate coastline, but inland the sea breeze will really not be felt at all, and it won't have much of a cooling effect, so temperatures will again be well into the 80s today. Then as we head into the evening hours, dropping back down into the 70s. Across the nation, we still have this lingering, slow-moving, lumbering, very sharp and well-defined cold front across the nation. That cold front producing again some very heavy rainfall and the potential for some severe weather again today in parts of the deep south stretching up to the Ohio Valley. Flooding still a major concern there for us. High pressure still the dominant weather feature, bringing us that easterly wind. For today, easterly wind this afternoon at about 10 knots keeps that sea breeze close to the coast. Northeast this evening becoming easterly again overnight tonight and into tomorrow. Forecast looking like this. Today's daytime high, 88. Tomorrow's daytime high, 86. Now, tomorrow I don't think we're going to break a record. I don't think we'll break a record on Saturday either as our temperatures continue to fall a little bit as that high pressure ridge shifts a little east. The winds slacken. The sea breeze becomes more beneficial. and we start to work in a little bit more moisture that maybe will produce a cooling rain by early next week. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. 5:50, time to take a look outside to your first alert traffic. The roads are looking pretty crystal clear this morning. A lot of light traffic in the area, especially in Manatee County, as well as in North Sarasota. A little bit of congestion out there on Bee Ridge Road and Fruitville, as you see normally around this time of the morning. If you're looking into South Sarasota County, those roads are devoid of much traffic out there today. The roads are looking pretty quiet and serene and, pretty good around this time of the morning. Just a little blip right there by Hillsborough Boulevard, but nothing to see this morning on your traffic maps. That's your first alert traffic.
It's like you got a thesaurus at your hands there.
No way do I have thesaurus.com open for my traffic.
She does.
I do. Shaking things up.
Various ways to say clear right now.
Right. What are all the different ways to say that the traffic is very clear this morning?
Nice try.
Right. It's going to be even better next hour.
Go ahead.
Right. Well, in today's Health Smart, a new study about women and heart attacks.
Yeah, this new study found that a high percentage of women are underdiagnosed. It looked at more than 300 women who had had their hearts scanned by an MRI. They found that 1/3 of the women had scars that indicated a heart attack. Researchers say that women with chest pain could be having a problem in tiny vessels around the heart that are not caught by typical tests, but it's a heart attack nonetheless.
Well, new information from the CDC says kids may need a second flu shot. Not every child, though. Only kids who have never had one before and kids who've only ever had it once before. Now, that first dose does bolster your immune system for the second dosage, which actually provides more protection.
With pediatric age group, you get when you get the influenza, their immune system will be weakened by the influenza virus, and that will make them vulnerable to bacterial infection.
And the CDC says the flu is to blame for the death of 84 children during this season. Now, we are in the peak flu season right now, but vaccinations are still being advised because it is not too late to prevent further deaths from happening.
All right, 5:52, update the day's top headlines after this.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Here are some of the stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
President Trump will hold another listening session today in the wake of last week's Broward County school shooting. Yesterday, he hosted students and parents from Parkland. And the Manatee County Sheriff's Office will teach the public how to deal with an active shooter situation. That's actually video of Sarasota County. The session is set for Manatee County on Thursday, March the 8th.
And coming up next hour, we're going to tell you how the Orioles plan to honor the victims of last week's shooting in Parkland in their very first spring training game that kicks off tomorrow.
We'll also go live next half hour to Lecom Park in Bradenton to talk to the folks from the Pirates who have the Yankees at their place on Saturday.
That's right. More to come. Thanks for joining us, and we'll stick around for next hour.